Good afternoon, friends. Stephen ben-Nun with Fact News Network. Listen, for those of you that support our broadcast, real quick, want to update you on our mailing address, Stephen ben-Nun or ben-Nun Institute. Either way, if you're trying to reach out to us there, P.O. Box 156, Sunbright, Tennessee, and that's zip code 37872 0 156. Now, you don't have to put the 0156 if you don't want to still get to us with no problem. We'll be updating our website hopefully by tomorrow with that information and also in the description below. Let's get into some things. I got some news headlines I wanted to touch base with you guys on. Israeli warplanes conduct mock raids near Syrian border as they intensify flights over Lebanon. Listen, the war with Iran is coming very soon. And I noticed as they're doing the mock flights over Lebanon, the Syrian border, I do believe they're going to try to take Damascus out at the same time. It says that the several flights over the Lebanese territory on Thursday as they intensified their monitoring operations inside the country. According to reports from the Lebanese-Syrian border, Israeli warplanes were seen conducting mock raids over Jabal Sheikh, which is Mount Hermon region, which is where the latter often attacks neighboring Syria. Furthermore, the Israeli warplanes were seen flying over the southern governorate of Nabateh as their aircraft flew at low altitudes above a number of areas, including the Bent Jabal district. The Israeli warplanes were said to have flown back and forth from Nabat governorate to the nearby Baqa governorate before returning to the country's territory. These reports come at a time of increased friction between Israel and Iran, especially after the latter accused the Mossad of playing a role in the assassination of Moshe Fakhrizadeh. Since the assassination of Fakhrizadeh, Israel has intensified their flights over Lebanon, with some sources reporting warplanes flying as far north as Jabal Byblos district. So, interesting the things that are going on there. I wanted to just share that with you there. A couple other things here I want to bring up to your attention as well. Make them pay. Michigan Democrats issue bizarre warning to Trump supporters. I watched this video before it made it on RT, and I planned on sharing this with you, but it's already made it on RT now. This is very disturbing. A Michigan state representative broadcast a warning to supporters of President Donald Trump, telling them to be careful and walk lightly after she apparently received threatening phone messages. And State Rep Cynthia Johnson, a Democrat of Detroit, made a name for herself last week when she scolded a Republican member of the House for allowing Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani to question witnesses and hearing an alleged voter fraud. Johnson accused Giuliani's witnesses of lying, objected to them being sworn in, and asked them to spell out their names in an apparent effort to dox them. In doing so, she angered some right-wingers watching the proceeding at home, and Johnson posted the recordings of a slew of phone calls to Facebook this week, purportedly from callers hurling racial slurs at her and threatening to lynch her. That's terrible. The Michigan Democrat hit back on Tuesday with a bizarre warning to you Trump supporters, she said in a Facebook video. Walk lightly. We ain't playing with you. Enough of the shenanigans. And, of course, it's good that RT has put this together like this, because you have to see the things that were going on in behind the scenes as well. But I want to play the video for you, though, what she says there, because it's pretty serious. Listen.
So this is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. We ain't playing with you. Enough of the shenanigans. Enough is enough. And for those of you who are soldiers, you know how to do it. Do it right. Be in order. Make them pay. I love y'all.
That's very, very eerie right there. But now you have to understand, though, Johnson posted a recording of a slew of phone calls to Facebook this week, purportedly from callers hurling racial slurs at her and threatening to lynch her. So this is really getting completely out of whack on both sides. On the Trump supporters threatening to lynch this woman, But then again, as she points out there, calling on those soldiers, you know what to do. You guys don't seem to understand. And unfortunately, I'm afraid even for this lady here, the same thing. She does not, Cynthia Johnson does not realize she's playing right into the plan. This whole, I mean, you know, guys, I warned you about this from the very beginning. I've got a lot of black friends. I've warned them as well. Don't get involved in these protests and things. Same thing for you patriots and you Trump supporters. Stay out of the protest. They're doing this for targeted disarmament. They're pitting you against one another. They're using this election. They're going to flip it back to Trump more than likely, only to create more anxiety and unrest in this nation to cause you to go at each other. When are you going to wake up and realize you're being played? I mean, that's really sad. And it's sad that she had to actually make a video like this. But, you know, I mean, granted, when I saw it when it was posted by the one that I saw it on a different one. It wasn't Henry Rogers, I don't believe, that posted it. Somebody else posted it. We didn't have the information that RT was able to put out here. You know, she's being, callers are hurling racial slurs at her and threatening to lynch her. I mean, this is insane. I mean, where is the, you know, I mean, and a lot of you patriots are supposed to be Christians. Where is Christianity in threatening to lynch somebody? I mean, that's completely insane. Both sides are playing into this, and it's sad to see that. Pentagon plans to cut most of its support to CIA's counterterrorism mission. I saw this. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about bringing back memories. Of course, I wasn't alive during the Kennedy assassination, but in surprise move, the Pentagon has told the Central Intelligence Agency that it plans to end the majority of the military support it provides to the agency's counterterrorism missions by January 5th, according to a former senior administration intelligence official. It is unclear how the decision would impact the spy agencies' worldwide counterterrorism missions that often rely on the U.S. military for logistical support and personnel. All right, last time this happened, does anybody remember, right? Let me get to the right place there. Does anybody remember Alan Dulles? He was the head of the CIA when Kennedy decided to cut the funding for the CIA. Now, granted, the CIA does the most nefarious operations, overthrows governments, destabilizes nations, and has been doing this for many, 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 many years. And maybe what it really is, maybe it's just the fact that we've come to the end of that saga, and they don't really need the CIA to do all these covert operations as much as they do. Although they just recently failed with Venezuela when they were trying to overthrow the Venezuelan president and put in their little de facto president. That was a big blunder for them. That didn't go so well. But nonetheless, as this article here says here, and this is back in 2015, why Alan Dulles killed the Kennedys. Now, I do know, I've actually had this confirmed with me, that the CIA was behind the killing and the assassination of President Kennedy. No, it was not the mob, as some people think, although the mob was working with them as well. And I've actually said in private meetings before, there's a good possibility, talking to one of my old colleagues, that the trigger man was possibly, one of my old colleagues that was also very close to my own partner when I worked with them, believed that he was the actual one of the trigger men used in that assassination. His hatred for Kennedy was unbelievable because he was part of the assassination plot, one of the many assassination plots against Castro. I know for a fact that the photos of him and Castro, they were like best friends. But when Kennedy pulled the plug on the CIA, it put his life in jeopardy. I remember the Catholic Church had to help smuggle him out of the country. But he had a vendetta against him. And of course, when you go to look at the Oliver Stone movie that he depicted there about the Kennedy assassination, that's probably the most accurate, closest I have ever seen to information that I've been privy to. And I also knew a man as well on the Warren Commission. I knew how much that was fraudulent. So interesting. So the thing is, as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about what happened to the president back then, and all of a sudden now they're talking about cutting funding to the CIA again. Is this going to cause deep state to go completely bonkers and off the deep end and try to do another one of those scenarios? I don't know. But it is interesting, right? Very interesting. Exceptional meteorite blast triggers shockwave and seismic shaking. Mini moon hurtles past Earth. There's somebody, I forget who sent this to me. It may have been Sister Rosa, but I wanted to show this to you because, and this has been several days back, but December 5th actually, so it's been over a week ago now. But I wanted you to see this because there's so many skeptics when I talk about these things. But let's look at this. Let's take a look.
Momentous boom rocked parts of upper New York State on December the 2nd after an exceptionally large meteor infiltrated the Earth's atmosphere. The explosive flash produced a brilliant shadow across the city of Toronto, and the far-reaching roar from the explosion created seismic-like shaking across portions of north-central New York, leaving residents stunned and prompting fears of gas explosions. According to the American Meteor Society, the sonic blast was produced by an extraordinarily large and durable meteor, which exploded above Syracuse, New York. Meteors that produce powerful sonic waves are rare. It normally requires exceptional circumstances for fireballs to be visible in the daylight hours. But there were multitudes of reports across the lower Great Lakes region from individuals who witnessed the meteor flash shortly after 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on December the 2nd. Analysis obtained by NASA shows that the meteoroid entered Earth's atmosphere over...
Here we go. Watch it. Here we go. You're going to see it in the cams. Look at that. Look at that. Daylight hours. Midday. Can you imagine that? Midday. Back it up just a little bit more. Let's watch it again. Well, back it up. Let's go right there. Here we go. Really appreciate this video done here. That CN Tower camera there. Here it goes. Here we go. Toronto, Ontario. Look at that. Wow. Here it goes again. Here we go. Watch. That is a massive meteorite. To be able to light up a daytime sky, unreal. So Skywatch Media News, thank you for doing that. Now we need to subscribe to these guys there. I really appreciate it. I see his work from time to time. So anyway, I'm Stephen ben-Nun. You're watching Fact News Network. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Again, don't forget our new address. Put it in the description below for you. Stephen ben-Nun, Post Office Box 156, Sunbright, Tennessee, zip code 37872. And also, John, if you happen to be listening, I know you live here in Tennessee as well. I catch you a lot over on when you call into the radio broadcast with John Moore, which, by the way, Tuesdays I'm on with John Moore. They do a roundtable meeting we've been doing every Tuesdays at 9 a.m. That's at thelibertyman.com. But that's on his radio program. So if you go to the website, thelibertyman.com, look that up. Very interesting broadcast we had this past week. It's actually just me and John, but also we have Leon Green on there, former naval officer, and Steve O'Neill, who's a nuclear engineer, and of course, John Moore on the program. It's always interesting, and John has a lot of guests that call in. We ought to do that sometime as well. We need to put something together again where you guys could call in and and we could take some of your questions. I'll try to put something like that together before too long. Anyway, thank you for listening. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you haven't seen it already, we have a video. It's on Patreon. Or if it's, maybe I'll load this one first and then Patreon. I go into this, the dreaded thing that we can't talk about anywhere on YouTube because they'll shut your channel down just for speaking about it. But we're not as good as what my wife can do, but it's some very good information on what they're wanting you to get pumped into your body. We'll just say it like that. But anyway, it cannot be released openly. So it is on IconnectFX.com. And don't forget, IconnectFX.com. I know a lot of, not as many people have signed up. A lot of people have watched the videos there, but you haven't signed up there. Let me tell you something. That is a very, very good platform. And it'll also, too, by the way, to be on Brand New Tube, because Brand New Tube is also a good platform where they allow us to put things up like this with not so much censorship. IconnectFX.com does not do the censorship. We have free webinars. We can even do a webinar with a whole group of you at one time in a private meeting setting, and it's highly secure. You don't have to worry about like in Skype and Zoom and the three-letter agencies listening into you. So think about it. It doesn't cost you anything to get on there. I think some people say, they're worried about their personal information. Well, misspell your name. I don't know. I'm just, listen. I think it'd really be a blessing to you. And it's really a place where we're able to work. And so think about it. Patreon as well, if you want to support the broadcast through patreon.com/Israeli News Live. I'll put the links in the description below for you. God bless you and thank you and good.